Hey folks, I'm just here to show you a little bit how the guitar study group will be structured and how it's actually going to work in practice. So we're going to meet bi-weekly on Saturday mornings, 9 till 11 a.m. starting on February 14th. And the first 10 minutes we will spend just doing some warm-ups. It depends on your level of study, but we're just gonna run a metronome beat and we're just gonna do just a classic 1, 2, 3, 4 exercises. Stuff like that. And then let's say, I think it'll be all dependent on which tune we're actually gonna be working on that day. So let's say, for example, we're working on Antonio Carlos Jobim's Água de Beber, the bossa nova one. Right? So the whole melody is based on a pentatonic scale, right? So one warm-up would be to just play over the pentatonic scale of D minor in this case. So let's say, we're just going to do that to warm up. There's no real, exercise we want to develop further. But if you're into it, we can start doing pentatonics in groups of 3 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or we can do it in groups of 4 notes. Depending on the variation, it will require slightly different movements and just different ways of dealing with technique. So after warm-up, we're going to go to section 2, which is where we're going to do a breakdown of the tune of the day. So if we're talking about Água de Beber, it starts with D minor, E7, A7, D minor, E, A, D minor, B flat major 7, D minor, and then a funny A half diminished type of a chord. So what we're going to do there, we're going to lay out the form of the tune. So it starts with that introduction. We have 16 bars of that because it repeats, so it's like an 8-bar section that repeats. So we've got 16 bars of introduction, and then we start on, let's call it A, which is kind of the verse of the song. And so we're going to analyze the melody, the harmony, what are these chords doing, what are their relationship to D minor, since we kind of established right there in the beginning that we were working with D minor, at least with the pentatonic scale. We're going to have a B section, which will correspond to a chorus. And then in this particular case, we're going to have a C section, which is exactly the same as the intro, but just with 8 bars. And that becomes the structure where we're going to build our solos, our improvisation sections over. And that's going to be the A section, which has 16 bars, and then the B section with 8 bars, and the C section with 8 bars, remembering that the C section is exactly the same as the introduction. Then we're going to pick up one particular concept or one topic to work on that day. Let's say it's pentatonics. The melody is, largely based on pentatonics, and in fact, he uses the blue note. Right? The point of that particular section is going to be to explore, okay, what is the pentatonic about? How can we play it all over our instrument? The pentatonics are such an intimate and common subject among us guitarists that it's actually a fun one to touch on. Most of the guitarists will have at least that very classic format under their fingers, so it's a really nice starting point We're going to look how they distribute over the fretboard. I'm going to provide you with resources. Then we're going to start talking about ways to apply those things, right? Because if we're in D minor, we obviously can use the pentatonic scale of D minor, right? So, which constitutes of root, minor third, 4, 5, and flat 7 or minor 7, right? So root, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. Those are the 5 notes of the minor pentatonic. And we can use that over D minor if we're starting on D minor, if the root is D minor, right? But we can also do other things. We can actually do the pentatonic of A minor over that D minor chord. So we could also do something like this. Right? Sounds a little bit funny when we're not playing together, but that's the whole point of being together. We're going to be playing the tune and we're going to be applying these concepts. And while we do so, we learn about comping, we learn about soloing, we learn about new resources and how to shape them, how to make them sound good when we're playing together, right? So anyway, the characteristic that this A minor pentatonic will bring is that starting with A, we had a 5 of D minor, and then we got a C, which is a flat 3 of, a flat 7 of D minor. Then we have a D, which is the root of D minor, and then we have an E, which is the 2nd or 9 of D minor, and then we have G, which is the 11th, or the 4th or 11th of D minor. So it has a couple of extension notes here that will sound really cool with this, with the chord of. Remember the sounds, da-da, right? So this is a really cool way to apply a knowledge, a practical knowledge that you might have already, knowing your pentatonics, for example. Like I can play, you know, even if it's just one position, like I can play D minor. So that's one thing we can play over a chord, the D minor chord, but we can also add that color with this, with the 9 and the 11th, if we'll play exactly the same shape, but over A minor. And that sounds cool. You can use a few other options as well. You can use E minor, right? And I'm not going to overanalyze it now, but it's just so you can have an idea of what we're going to be exploring. These are the resources that are interesting for guitarists to have. And we can see that that will also add up not only melodically, but it will add up to comping strategies that we can use to play over D minor, right? So if we're playing D minor and we have the D minor pentatonic, we can just kind of take an horizontal perspective of that chord we're going to have, right? So those are, we already know these are all available notes for us, right? And if we're doing it with the A minor pentatonic, we also know that these notes are available to us. And they're just going to paint a different color over the same chord. And same thing with E minor. Right? So these are the types of things, types of resources I'm looking forward to share with you in our jazz guitar study group. Finally, we're just going to open the room to a more free space for sharing, for talking about our challenges and to decide individually, really, what is the next step, what types of things that I have already or you have already at your disposal with your own practice, and what is the next step you can take to try to apply those things in a more practical way and learn something in the next couple of weeks, something really useful. I'm really looking forward for the Jazz Guitar Study Group. I'm looking forward to meet different guitar players and work on all these incredible guitar stuff that we all love about. So see you on February 14th. Remember to message me if you're interested, because we have limited spots. I really don't want more than 10 people, ideally 8. So it might be the case where even though you might be interested and you want to just show up for a drop-in, you know, it could be possible that we don't have the space for you. So let me know. Make sure you guarantee your spot before the class gets full. Okay? See you.